Alright everybody, Big Cobb Diesel coming at you, and we're going to check out a little surveillance video from Detroit today. And we're going to talk about this young lady who's open carrying a firearm and gets it taken away from her. And in just 5 seconds it's over. Well everybody, all I can say is just wow. That video was very disturbing and very hard to watch. As you can see, there's a couple of problems with that video, and we're going to unpack that right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is situational awareness. Situational awareness very simply means you are aware of what's going on around you, your situation. Now, this woman in the video was in what we call condition white. Condition white is a state of awareness where you are unaware of what's going on around you, which is not a good thing, especially if you're carrying a firearm. Condition white is you're at home sitting on your couch, there's no strangers in your house, you're just relaxing, you can kind of let your guard down. Anytime you're carrying a firearm, you should be in what's called condition yellow. Condition yellow is a heightened state of awareness. You are aware of your surroundings. You make eye contact with everybody that comes into your protective bubble, and your protective bubble is an area approximately 6 feet around you, and that just lets everybody who's observing you know that you see them, that you're aware of what's going on. You're paying attention to corners, you're paying attention to blind spots. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. Anytime you're carrying a firearm, you should be in condition yellow. This woman was on her phone. She had her phone on her shoulder, pinned between her shoulder and her ear, obviously talking to somebody. So right there, that's a problem, because now she's just limited her field of view. She's in this position here. She can kind of look around like this, look down, but she has no ability to turn her head and look to see what's behind her. The other problem is not only was she intent on talking to whoever it was on the phone, but she was also digging in her purse, presumably for some form of payment for whatever it is she was buying. So she had two things going on that took away her ability to know what was going on around her. The whole time, the guy behind her was watching her every move, and when the time was right, he simply reached out and yanked the firearm out of her waistband. So now we're going to talk about that part. The woman was open carrying, which is legal in Michigan, but the problem is the firearm was not secured. It was simply being held in place by the elastic waistband of her pants. So for obvious reasons, that's a bad idea. The guy was able to get the weapon with no issue whatsoever. Now, why he tackled her to the floor afterwards, we don't know. When I first watched it, I was thinking maybe he was going to go for her purse, but as soon as he tackled her, her purse fell away actually towards the camera, and he never went after the purse. So he tackles her. As you can see by the timer, this incident was over in 5 seconds. So anytime that you are going to carry, I highly suggest that you carry concealed. There's not a whole lot of reasons where it's really a good idea to open carry, unless you're at a range, you're doing some other kind of training, firearm training, and then as a civilian, I really can't see any other reason why. So the other problem is she should have really been carrying concealed. She was wearing a hoodie, which would have been completely adequate. In fact, if she'd have just had the hoodie pulled down over her firearm, the guy might have not even known she was carrying a firearm. And that's what we want. That's the whole purpose of concealed carry, is to be able to carry a firearm and no one know that you have the firearm unless there's an emergency and you need to deploy it, right? So what she could have done, had she not wanted to do that, she could have used something like this. This is a belly band holster. Now I have to tell you, this is not my favorite because it offers no retention whatsoever. There is a pocket here to place a small firearm in, and there's actually another pocket to place an extra magazine or whatever in it. It does have a snap so that when you put the firearm in place, you can snap it. Now, I bought this obviously on purpose, but what I found for me is the only time that this is really practical is just if I have my firearm on me, I'm gonna wear this thing high up on my torso, under clothing of course, and really in a situation where I think there's a low probability that I'm gonna have to deploy it, because honestly there's just no good way of deploying your firearm for this, but this is better than nothing. Anytime you're carrying a firearm, you should be in a holster. I prefer holsters with retention. This is a level 2 holster. This is a Safariland, and this holster has a button here that has to be depressed for the firearm to come out. As you can see, the firearm does not come out. I can shake it, all that kind of stuff. And unless somebody knows the makeup of this holster, even if they notice that I have a firearm, they're not going to be able to get it out quick enough. So if somebody grabs the firearm, that'll give me enough time to react to prevent that. Another holster, and this is a outside the waistband holster, by the way. This is one that I actually use for work quite a bit. And then you have the inside the waistband holster. As you can see, there's a belt clip on it. This goes inside the waistband with just the belt clip exposed in the top of the firearm. And the thing that both these holsters have in common, which makes them a really good choice, is that the trigger's covered. We don't want to have a negligent discharge, right? So as long as the trigger's covered, life is good. Now, this particular holster doesn't have any retention per se. The firearm will click. You hear the click as it snaps into place. Same thing, it's not going to fall out, but there is no button to depress to get the firearm. Simply give it a good tug and it'll come out and you can deploy it. So just a couple things to think about there. One more option here is a sling bag, and this particular sling bag is designed for concealed carry. It's got a bunch of Velcro in there. As you can see, there is a Velcro holster in place with a snap. I don't know if you can see that there. And you can put it at whatever angle. You can go left, right, however you want to do it. But this is designed specifically for concealed carry. And I do use this typically if I'm wearing workout clothes, things that are tighter fitting. I will have this on me. So the moral of the story there is it's always better to conceal carry. People don't really need to know that you're carrying a firearm, right? Excuse me. The other thing is situational awareness. Be aware of your surroundings and know who's around you. Make sure you make eye contact with people so that they know that you see them, okay? So hopefully you guys have learned a couple things from this, and I'm definitely open to comments, suggestions. If there's anything you think I missed or that I should have touched on. Again, I don't know any more information about this video other than what I just showed you. I don't know the background information. A buddy of mine who's a police officer is the one that sent it to me. I'm sure it's already made its rounds on social media by now, but I don't know any details. I don't know who these people were, what happened after that, but this situation could have very easily ended up in somebody dying had that been the intent of the guy that grabbed the gun. There was a struggle, looks like. I can't tell if they were struggling, you know, if she was actively trying to get the firearm back or if he just hit her so fast that she just really didn't have time to do anything. But imagine if there was an accidental discharge, if he had no intent, which I'll talk about in a second, but even if he had no intent to shoot anybody, what if he'd have shot her in the process of finishing taking the gun from her? Now, having talked about that, it is universally accepted that if somebody is attempting to take your firearm, that they intend, and it's perfectly plausible to assume that they intend to use deadly force, okay? So do whatever you got to do to maintain that firearm, okay? And I'll just leave that there. I'll expand more on that in another video. But hey guys, hope this video helped you out. Again, leave some comments, questions, concerns. If there's anything you think I missed, if you think I'm completely Looney Tunes, just leave some comments below and we'll talk about it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that when I drop a new video, you'll know about it. And please hit the like button, because that'll help get the algorithm to recognize that, that I make videos. All right, everybody, stay safe.